And as a matter of fact, I am not bragging, I am not boasting. If I get Ghana for 1 year, only 1 year from the beginning of my first day in office, till 14, 12 months, Ghanaians will say that they will know that there's a new leader in this country. The world will begin to honor Ghana.
This is Magical GH. Magical GH. And I will be your papa. Subscribe Nestle. Magical.
To make it across, they have to look at it and make it across. It shouldn't be just for just one sector. They should make sure that it's being replicated in all other sectors. That's how we are going to have a full meaning to the fixed rate system. Then doctor has also nailed it. So all of them have built the consensus that going forward, they are going to make our taxes flat for us. And Ghanaians should think about it, memorize it, and then demand accountability when the time comes for them to implement. You were talking about the import substitution and that you are urging us to produce. Yes, it is necessary. That is about time that we migrate from captains of industry to and then from barons of industry to captains of industry, and it's very important that we where do you go? Redirect our trading to manufacturing. This is the way to go. And fortunately, all the political parties are also talking in the same line. That when they come, they are going to patronize made in Ghana goods, and that when they come, they are only going to encourage the manufacturing and all that. So what choice do we have as traders? We don't have any choice than to make sure that we also migrate and do manufacturing much as we can. But we cannot migrate into manufacturing when the foreigners are being allowed to come into the trading, to distract us, to take us back. So it should be a comprehensive policy of state that they do everything, use the investment laws to contain the foreign traders from coming in, especially when we want to go into manufacturing. They are the first people that they have to be directed into manufacturing. Because after all, manufacturing is not complete unless it ends up with the final consumer, and we are the distributors who do that. So we are very much intertwined with manufacturing. But it doesn't mean that we have to bring these foreigners to come and serve this simple purpose that our forefathers have been doing in all these years. And then the last one, I'll talk about the control system. That's where maybe we have an issue, because the price control system has never worked anywhere. So prices settle by its own self due to the cost of doing business. If the prices are down, they traders themselves, they compete among themselves. Because nobody overpriced himself out of competition. And that when the prices come down, as you have promised to do, the assurance that we give to you is that naturally the prices will also follow suit. Prices are going up because they are following the high price of cost of doing business. So the assurance is that we have competition among ourselves, which is not positive for any trader to overprice himself out of competition. And definitely when prices go down, we will also follow suit. Thank you very much. Yeah. I hope you do not also forget the good sense of human. I hope you also do not forget about the good humor that our doctor have. Times when the tension are so high, he will do his Ayariga to bring the tensions down. And then you listen to him, he has a great deal of this humor, and we need it because this is not about war. It's about a trade of ideas. And I respect you for that. May God bless you.
Yes. Oh, please, you can do better than that. Let's give our president some applause. I'm sure the press you.
And what has stopped Africa from removing their borders is lack of understanding of trade unions, agreement, and freedom. We cannot be Africans and still have borders. You should be able to travel to Nigeria even without holding your passport and your ID card, your Ghana card should be able to take you to Nigeria. That is under my system. But I'm going to change the digital system of Ghanaians and have a unique identification of every Ghanaian. This should replicate itself normally. The leadership of Hassan Ayariga is bringing should replicate itself in various African countries. And we open up a border where we all have one currency. We'll be talking about these things. But you see, our leaders go to Europe to drink tea and come out and forget about their policies of making Africa one continent and removing borders and having one currency. Americans have done it. They are great. Their currency is great because of that. Europeans have done it. The euro is big, strong because of that. The Asians have done it. What about Africa? We are divided, and the Europeans and Americans like our division. Because they are gaining a lot from our division. When we are united, we become a very strong continent. That the currency we are going to use will become unique in the world. Because we have the raw materials, we have the minerals, we have the labor force, we have the brains, but we've forgotten them when we are in office. We forget them when we go to office. You see, big politicians like Akufo-Addo, John Mahama, they will say all the things they want to say. When they sit on that chair, they have forgotten all the things they promised Ghanaians. And that's why we have to change them. So for me, every border at the UN or African Union will have discussion must be lifted. So that Africans can trade among themselves. And we must have one common currency. So that Dr. Obe or my big brother here who is trading should know that the value of his product is the same across the world. And he can do more businesses. And then that will help sell our commodity. We have a big market now. The African market is huge. If you can penetrate into the African market, you don't need a European market. Nigeria alone is over 200 million people. Nigeria alone. If you are able to penetrate into the Nigerian market with an open market, what do you think you are doing? But what do? We still close those borders and want to be powerful and want to be economically independent. Our mind must be independent. We must have a mindset. That is why my first policy is change of mindset. Our problem all is because of our mindset, the way we think, the way we do things. If you don't get it, then it's a dream. But if you dream and sleep and get up and drink coffee, you can never achieve it. My brother talk about this free scenarios. When we talk about national share of national cake, the first of it is to educate a society. And educating that society must be free to all. And under that free education of the APC, it is not just going to be free to all the students from primary to tertiary. You will be given bonus for being a student. Listen very well. Under my leadership, every student will be taking allowance. You don't pay school fees. You don't pay boarding fees. You don't pay accommodation. Do you know how many families are suffering just to pay accommodation for their wards in universities and BEC? Do you know how many? Some cannot go to school. I pay for my children 21,000 Ghana cedis every semester for one child. How many people can raise 21,000 to pay for their wards in the university? Mind you, my children are not abroad. I am building the policy here to transform my children and your children. I am not selling any of my child abroad. This boy sitting down here is my son. The one holding my bag. He just completed BEC. So if I cannot build the society for my children, then I'm not thinking about yours. But if I allow my children to stay in this country, what does it mean that I have to build a country for all of them industrialization, nationalization, commercialization, that's the business sector, what do you call it? Modernization. And socialization. So you have added that one to it. So it's centered on these 7 key policies. And as a matter of fact, I am not bragging, I am not boasting. If I get Ghana for 1 year, only 1 year from the beginning of my first day in office till 14 months, Ghanaians will say that they will know that there's a new leader in this country. The world will begin to honor Ghana. So free education is going to be for all. And under the free education, your child will get benefits to be a student of Ghana. So Ghanaians will not be going anymore. Ghanaians will be rich. We are born in a rich country, but we have bad and poor leaders. That is why we are poor. Ghana is so rich in everything. Look, I didn't want to say this, but let me say this. We have more than 17 mineral resources. 17 more. Let's say that
this memorandum of understanding with us. It is very important. So this is what I will say, and it is very important. We have suffered a lot about this duty payment, and it has trickled down on the prices of goods in the market to affect the consuming public, whose income is limited. The purchasing power keeps reducing as a result of high cost of doing business. How long is it going to happen? And our produce is not being competitive. You see that in the scheme of the Continental Free Trade Area, Ghana is not having any good position in it because we are really behind. Why? Why? Because we go to other countries, Kenya, other areas to buy these goods, and our produce is not being, we are not being able to